Hello, my name is Christopher Scott. Thanks for joining me for another Basics of the Bible video. If you're new to these videos, there's a link down there in the description to the playlist where all 75 Basics of the Bible videos are displayed, going Genesis through Revelation. So thanks for joining me today. In this video, we're going to look at the wisdom books, the 5 wisdom books. I'm going to give you a brief introduction to those books, and then later I'll be publishing videos on each of those books individually. So this video is about the wisdom books, Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and Song of Solomon. So in the Old Testament, in the Bible, let's start with the Bible. There's 66 books in our Bible. There are 39 in the Old Testament, 27 in the New Testament. And out of those 39 in the Old Testament, there are 5 groups. There are 5 books of Moses, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. We call those the Pentateuch or the Torah. I have an introduction to the Pentateuch up there. And then there's 12 historical books. Those are the books Joshua through Esther. I have another video up there to those books as well you can watch. And so the next group is the wisdom books. Then there's the major prophets and the minor prophets. And so these wisdom books are kind of sandwiched there in the middle between the Pentateuch and the historical books and the major and minor prophets. That's where the historical books or the wisdom books are located. And these books, let's talk about the authors first. So Job, we're not really sure who wrote Job. It was written in about 2000 BC, pretty early on in the Bible's time, but we're not really sure who wrote it. The Psalms are mostly written by David. Proverbs are mostly written by Solomon, except for the last 2 chapters of Proverbs. And then Ecclesiastes and Song of Solomon are both written by Solomon. And in each of those videos, I'll give you reasons why they're written by those authors. The time covered in the wisdom books, like I shared with you, the book of Job took place and was written shortly after 2000 BC, and then King Solomon dies in 931 BC. So these 5 wisdom books were written and composed between 2000 BC and 931 BC, those 1,000 years. The themes of the wisdom books are truly wisdom. So they're truly wisdom. There's a there's a Hebrew word for wisdom in the Hebrew language, hakam, which means wise or wisdom. And that Hebrew root, hakam, and there's a couple different derivatives of it. That Hebrew root, of all of its occurrences in the 39 books of the Old Testament, about half of those occurrences occur in Job, Proverbs, and Ecclesiastes. So out of all the times it occurs, half of those occurrences occur in Job's, Proverbs, and Ecclesiastes, in those 3 books. And then the other half occur in the other 36 books. So these books of wisdom truly are about wisdom. And that's from Ken Hanna's book, From Moses to Malachi. He's actually quoting Roy Zuck in the book, A Biblical Theology of the Old Testament. So that's a little bit. They are really about wisdom. And next I want to talk to you about poetry in Hebrew. Because as an English speaker living in America, poetry is mostly based on rhyming, words that rhyme together. So an example is, for today, I'm going to buy hay. Or later today, I need to go buy hay. Okay, that's a rhyme, and that's poetry most of the time in English. If you read some of the more technical poetry like T.S. Eliot or guys like that, they don't really use rhyming. It's a little more technical. But most of the time, Dr. Seuss and things like that are rhyming-based poetry. And that's what we think poetry is as English speakers. But in the Hebrew mind, poetry was different. A lot of it was based on parallelism. So they would say something in this line and they say something in this line. In the video on Psalms, I'll talk a lot about this. So one way of organizing things in a poetic way was you say something positive here and something negative here. You say something here and then you develop that idea here. So you use these ways to work the lines together. Or in Hebrew, they would use wordplay. So they would say one word for this here, then they would take a word that sounds kind of similar but different and use it here. Or in Hebrew, the Hebrew accent system is very complex, and the accents change drastically based on the word order and things going on. And so they would change those consonants and those vowels slightly to get the emphasis to kind of match the rhythm. It didn't really rhyme, but the cadence would be similar. And so when you translate that stuff into English, it's totally lost. But that is how Hebrew poetry works. And so in the book of Psalms video, I'll talk a lot about that. And I think in the book of Proverbs, I'll talk about it a little bit too. A little bit in Proverbs, but mostly Psalms. So if you want to catch that video when it's published. So that's a brief introduction to the wisdom books, about the authors, the date, the type of poetry, and the themes of the wisdom books. In the notes down there, I got some of these notes in the description, as well as a list of the big events so that you can see what's occurring in Israel between 2000 BC and 931 BC. I've got the big events of the Old Testament listed there. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you can stay updated and keep following them as they continue to be published each week. If you found this video helpful, I would love to have you subscribe to my monthly email newsletter. In the first comment down there on this video, there's a link where you can subscribe to that for free. I promise I only send you one email a month, and in that email I give you links to my newest articles that were published the month before, and I give you the newest YouTube videos that I make here. Both are free resources you can read and watch. So thanks for watching. I hope to catch you again soon in another video.